At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Mike Krueger here. Enjoying my fresh cup of coffee out this morning. You're watching Coffee with Krueger every weekday morning on, of course, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., where we kind of just go over the forecast for the day, kind of get you out the door in the morning and what you can expect for the day, what we can expect in more detail in the forecast. And for those of you that like to be interactive, you can make comments, say good morning, say good evening, whatever it is you like to say. Then, of course, you can also ask questions about the weather. Of course, we got a big holiday weekend coming up. Yeah, Labor Day is coming up over the weekend. Many of you have a 3-day weekend. I don't, but, you know, that's just so be it. Not a big deal. I'm here anyways. We're not even planning on, we weren't even planning on staying a little bit longer where we were. But we got the regulars coming in. Lisa, good morning to you all. Debbie, and, of course, Tracy as well. We'll tell you what, let's go ahead and get to Krueger's Quickcast. As you know, I can go into a lot of detail in some of my forecasts. But for those of you that are in a hurry, maybe you're checking in the morning, you just want to get a quick look at the forecast. Well, that's what Krueger's Quickcast is all about. Starting off with those current temperatures out there right now. Yeah, it's cooling off a little bit in the morning still. At least we have those to look forward to. 63 degrees right now at the Reading Airport, although a little bit warmer in Chico at 68. 50 right now in Susanville. One of the cooler spots is Bernie at about 44 degrees this morning. And there you can see Eureka, about 53 degrees. The visibility is getting a little bit lower in some cases here this morning here. Let's take a look at Elk Country, just north of Trinidad here. And you can see we do have, looks like a little bit of fog there this morning. Sekiatu, right now we're going to take a look at a different story. Of course, where the visibility is looking pretty good there. But yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good. Not much in the way of wind. Looks a little hazy out there, but overall clear of that fog out in the Crescent City area. Now, if you live in Eureka, let me know what it looks like over there, because it looks like, based on the latest coming in, yeah, around Eureka, you've got some pretty dense fog out there this morning. But you had, I mean, it's basically, you kind of see it just kind of is there for Humboldt County, but Delaware County looking pretty fog-free at this point here. So kind of interesting. Let's get you out the door this morning. Of course, some of the fog that we are seeing this morning for many of you along the coast here, especially out towards the north coast. But eventually, we are going to be looking at clearing skies. Temperatures upper 50s by 8 o'clock this morning. 68 degrees in the valley. And temperatures mainly in the 50s for the higher elevations this morning, with the exception of Trinity County in the low 60s. So, again, the main area of fog looks like it's going to be coming in from the south later on this evening and tonight. So places like, say, Shelter Cove tonight and into tomorrow may start to see some of that fog again tomorrow morning. But I do expect a lot of this fog to work its way northward through the day tomorrow. But for today, well, there you have it. Temperatures over 100 degrees in the valley. How about those 90s in the higher elevations, even some triple digits for some of those warmer spots. Willow Creek about 103, 100 in Hoopa, 68 degrees in Crescent City, and Eureka and Garberville about 94 degrees. Taking a look at your 7-day outlook for the valley, we're going to keep it 100 degrees or higher, at least through Saturday in Reading. Now, we are going to start to see a slight dip in our temperatures on Saturday, but still kind of a hot start to your weekend. Sunday is the transition day, and we're starting to see temperatures drop, and I think many of us in the valley may struggle to get out of the 80s by Monday. I mean, yeah, some of us may touch 90, but you get the idea. Quite a drop in those temperatures. And then temperatures will start to increase again for Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. That trend will really pretty much be the case for everyone else. The coast in the mid-60s. Looks like we're talking about temperatures in the 80s for the inland areas for Monday, your Labor Day, and not to mention Weaverville before temperatures start to ramp right back up. Of course, notice for El Tourist, I got that chance in there. Boy, the forecast model is having a hard time with this. And I'll say this, that I'm just putting it in there because the clouds are showing up. There is not a lot of available moisture for El Tourist on Saturday, or excuse me, Sunday or Monday. But just want in the back of your mind that I don't want you to be surprised if you see a stray sprinkle or a light shower. Very off chance for an isolated thunderstorm as well. That's mainly for Modoc County. Now, some of it could bleed into Siskiyou County, not to mention parts of Lassen County, but for the most part, it looks like it'll be in El Tourist if we even see anything. That's kind of the story going on right there. Good morning, everyone's going on. What's going on this morning? We have got Ruth saying good morning. Good morning from Red Bluff. Beautiful morning to have a great day. You know, that's when we want to put on the screen there. You know, it's one of those things where it's a good day to have a great day, or a great day to have a great day, or a great day to have a phenomenal day. So that's what Bill is kind of putting out in his message there. Looks like we've got Curtis saying, good morning, Mike, from 7 miles west of Red Bluff. Power out this morning. I wonder what's going on over there. I wonder why you have a power outage. Having to make coffee the old-fashioned way, camp coffee. Ooh, that's always fun, a little gritty sometimes. Good morning, all, from Deborah Ann as well. All right, I want to thank you for checking in this morning here. Hey, let's take a look at some of the fires, what's going on with the fires now. And this is the latest coming in from the Boise fire at 46% containment as of last night. Haven't received any new information from this morning, but typically we get data every 24 hours or so now on these fires, as we're not seeing a lot of activity coming in from the fires. We are seeing some new containment numbers for the Park Fire, now at 92% containment, still at about 429,603 acres. Now the winds right now are not that much of an issue, mainly below 10 miles per hour. Today, this afternoon, I don't expect the winds to be an issue at all, probably even below 15 miles per hour in most cases. But I do expect the winds to probably pick up a little bit tomorrow, and that'll probably elevate that fire danger a little bit. But the humidity is still very low. It's still very dry out there, despite the fact that we do have the calmer winds. We do have the moderate to even close to high range in the valley, low to moderate for the higher elevations. Taking a look at some of the cameras out there this morning, there's a look at Lake Oroville live stream. If you look at the very bottom of your screen, you can kind of see some land, but also looks a little hazy, some smoke coming in from the fires. Yes, we're not seeing a lot of activity coming in from the fires, but they are still producing some smoke, and that's why you're seeing some of that smoke out there. Taking a look at North Oroville, Lake Oroville, that is North Forebay. Looks like the winds are fairly calm this morning, making for a beautiful sight right there. Taking a look at Main Street Chico on Highway 32, as we typically see this time of the morning. Not a lot of traffic out there this morning, but a little bit of a different story typically on Highway 99 at Neal Road, although it looks like, well, things pretty good there, although there is a traffic light down there. So sometimes you see, it looks like there's not much traffic, and then suddenly you get this rush of traffic coming in. That's kind of how those traffic lights work, right? Highway 44 at Sundial Bridge Drive, no traffic lights there, just regular old traffic moving right along. Well, today is Thursday, so we have got our Ag Report, which is sponsored by Lassen County Nursery. And Jerry O'Lennon has this week's report, and he went out to Chico State University to the meat laboratory. It's kind of an interesting story to see what it is they do over there. So check it out.
Hi there, I'm Jerry O'Lennon for Weather NorCal, and this is the Ag Report, sponsored by Lassen Canyon Nursery. I'm at the farm of Chico State University, specifically at the Meats Laboratory, to learn more about it. I am with Tate Massengale. He is a student and employee at Chico State with the meats factory here. What is it that is done here at this laboratory?
So this is a very unique work opportunity for me. It's very awesome. So what we do here is we are a harvesting facility, but also a hoof to package place. So that means that the animal walks in our building and then will come out in perfect packaging, ready to sell to our clientele.
So you're taking it from the beginning of the process to the end of the process, including destroying the animal. Is that a difficult thing to do? Do you witness that? You see that, and is that difficult to observe?
It's definitely something that you're not used to seeing on a daily basis, but I wouldn't say destroying. We prefer harvest, but it's as humane as we can. It's USDA certified, which means we have people watching over us. We're keeping ourselves safe, we're keeping the animals safe, and it's really the best way to do it.
What do you learn from this experience?
Really where meat comes from, because people think, contrary to popular belief, meat comes from the grocery store. It does not. It comes from out here. It comes from this building. I think it's taught me the most important thing is work ethic and working together with my colleagues.
Do you think most people would appreciate their food more if they knew everything that took place in preparing it from the beginning until, as you say, it gets packaged and eventually consumed?
100%. I mean, this is just a small snippet of that entire process of where your food comes from. We're not even starting to, feed out the cows, do any of that stuff, actually taking care of the livestock before they're let into this building.
Now, do you sell the meat here at this location, or is it all sold and then sent to maybe local grocers or grocers maybe around the state? Where does it go to?
So primarily we do our custom butcher work, which someone brings us an animal, we process it for them, and it ships out the door. But the cool thing about this facility is from Thursday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. we do sell to the public. Anybody can come out here and enjoy all this.
What will they enjoy most about seeing this? Watching the process? They don't watch the process of the animal being harvested, I would imagine. But no, but they do see what could they see that they'll go, oh wow, that's fascinating.
Something that you could see while we're just working on a daily basis is just like today. We're slicing bacon for retail, so that's bacon that you could get your hands on and eat. So it's just a more familiar process, getting to know where your food comes from. It's a really great opportunity for people.
Well, Mr. Massengale, thank you so much, and good luck on your future.
Thank you so much.
And there is another edition of the Ag Report, sponsored by Lassen Canyon Nursery. Thanks for watching. I'm Jerry O. Lennon for Weather NorCal.
All right, once again, I want to remind you that, of course, as Jerry just said, the NorCal Ag Report is sponsored by Lassen County Nursery. We want to thank them for their support of not only Weather NorCal, but of course, really since the inception of the NorCal Ag Report, Lassen County Nursery has been behind it 100%, and we certainly appreciate their sponsorship. Well, what an interesting story there, and you kind of had me at bacon. Bacon is one of those things where I think it's just that American iconic, meat, right? Everything, people always say everything is good with bacon, right? You have bacon bowls, you put things in the bacon wrapped chicken, bacon this, bacon that, bacon bits, all the good stuff here. So again, I want to thank Jerry for his report there, and thank you all so much for supporting it and watching it as well. Let's see if anybody's got anything going on this morning here. Hey, let me know if you have any plans this weekend. I know, of course, we've got the Intermountain Fair out in MacArthur. We've also got the fair out in Ferndale, out on the coast, and that's where my family and I are heading out to this weekend. Just going to do a short trip out there, but we're certainly looking forward to checking that out. But do you have any plans for your Labor Day? I know it's kind of a big travel weekend. Some people tend to try to avoid the roads and traveling in general because it can be, not fun. Let's just put it that way. When everybody's out there trying to get that last summer vacation before we have the unofficial last weekend of summer, kind of wrapping up that summer season. Kids are back at school. We start seeing temperatures trying to cool down, although it doesn't feel that way right now, does it? And speaking of that forecast, we've got Deborah Ann, who is saying, that's kind of talking about different plans for the weekend. She has got the Blackberry Festival. Oh, in Mount Shasta, should be fun. We love going out to all of those different festivals out there in Siskiyou County in general. Of course, you got the, I think it's the Mushroom Festival in McLeod. They have a couple of other festivals there as well. Just a beautiful spot there in McLeod downtown. Love it out there. And that should be fun, the Blackberry Festival in Mount Shasta. As you all know, what's interesting as you think about, blackberries, that's a different thing. But Black Bear Diner, that's where Black Bear Diner was born. And what's interesting to see that growth of Black Bear Diner is I was in Texas not too long ago, and we were driving down the highway, and my brother-in-law said, hey, look, there's Black Bear Diner. Love that restaurant. I'm like, Black Bear Diner started in Mount Shasta City. So kind of interesting. I love that. Morning, Mike. A little overcast on the coast this morning. Yeah, it looks like you are seeing some of that fog this morning for parts of the coast, but it's a different story out towards Crescent City. So if you're in Eureka, yeah, you've got some pretty bad visibility right now. Looks like the visibility there is down to 0, as a matter of fact here. So kind of interesting there. Let's see what else we got here. Camping. Lisa is saying that she is camping in Hat Creek. Let's get that up here. There it is. Lisa Stevens saying camping at Hat Creek, hoping to stay coolish up there. It should. Overnight it's going to be cooler than it is in the valley. I think you're going to really have a good time up there. And some clouds probably coming in over the weekend. Don't get too concerned about that. When I say that, mainly just looking at some afternoon clouds developing. But most likely you should stay dry. I'm not anticipating any rain at this point, but You know, Mother Nature always has a way of surprising us, doesn't she? But that'll be the case on Sunday and even into Monday as well. So it should be nice, you know, and especially as we do cool things off for your Sunday and in particular for your Monday. So even if you're out there on Monday, you should have some pretty good weather for it. Maybe you'll run into, we got, let's see here, Jeff Johnson saying, maybe you'll run into Guy Ferrari at Ferndale. All right, so funny story behind that. Well, not funny. It's not that funny. That's just a coincidence. Years ago, I'd have to say probably 10 years ago, maybe less than that, I was actually out at the fair in Ferndale, and sure enough, there I was actually with the media person, the person at the fair who, you know, deals with the media. She and I were kind of chatting up, and who walks up behind her to kind of talk with her and, of course, interrupt our discussion, but it was okay. It's Guy, right? He can do whatever he wants. And he started kind of, you know, just chatting it up with her. So I didn't really actually meet him. I just saw him. I think we exchanged one little brief part of a conversation, but nothing major, just kind of a few passing words. I try not to get starstruck, right? But the guy that you see on TV is the guy, and he's very just out there and loud. He's a loud guy. Interesting. Let's see here. But from what I understand, he's from Ferndale, right? I believe he's from Ferndale. He grew up in Ferndale. So that's kind of neat. So he probably goes out there, tries to support his community that he grew up in. We've got Tracy saying, I'm working on a delivery drive. I'm a delivery driver. I need to make sure everyone gets their packages. Oh, yes, of course. And I'm a meteorologist. I need to make sure everybody gets their forecast, right? So yeah, good for you, Tracy. Everyone's got it. Some people have to work. That's always the fun part, isn't it? It's kind of funny. I just saw that right now coming in from Krista. She's saying, better with bacon. Yes, absolutely. Everything's better with bacon. May not be the healthiest thing on the planet, but bacon is bacon. Bacon is good, good stuff. All right, tell you what, let's get to the forecast now and take a look at our sponsor of Coffee with Krueger, made possible by Wind River Resort and Casino. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. All right, thank you, Wind River, for your support. And let's get to those current temperatures out there right now. 63 degrees right now for Redding, but a little bit warmer. And Chico at about 68, 40 for Alturas. That's one of the cooler spots this morning. There you can see Susanville about 50, 51 for Wairika. Mount Shasta City about 49 degrees. 52 for Crescent City and Eureka about 53 degrees right now. There's your look at your weather headlines. So the summer heat we've been experiencing, that continues. At least through probably Saturday, all right? Then by Sunday, we'll start to see temperatures drop even more for your Labor Day. And on top of that, I mentioned just a slight chance for a few showers, thunderstorms in Modoc County, but I don't want to set that in stone just yet, but just know that it's on my radar, if you will, and it's something I'm watching very closely. More triple-digit heat next week. Yeah, so temperatures go down, they go right back up next week. The winds right now, for the most part, are below 10 miles per hour. No issues there. Winds picking up again this afternoon, as we typically see those afternoon breezes, but mainly below 15 miles per hour here for this afternoon. That's great to see, because the winds may pick up a little bit here for your Friday, and looks like even more so by the time we get into your Saturday afternoon. You see a lot of the greens, even some hinting at some yellows in there, so 20, 25 miles per hour. That's something to really pay attention to, because it's not just the winds that we got to look at, but the humidity. And look at the humidity. It's quite low. Look at the humidity on Friday. Still rather low, down into the single digits. How about Saturday? You bet. It's still in the single digits. So when those winds pick up during the heat, during these dry conditions, what does that do for our fire weather risk? Well, it increases it. So for today, mainly in the moderate range for the valley, but it goes back up to high tomorrow, not to mention central Siskiyou County. You'll notice some yellows kind of painted in there off to the east as well. And then by Saturday, I think we'll be even more within that high, getting closer to the even very high range, because again, it's hot. Temperature's about 100 degrees in the valley. Dry, and those winds picking up on Saturday. And then there you can see for central Siskiyou County, same story. And we're getting even some oranges out towards Lassen County, and even in that moderate to high range here for parts of Modoc County as well. So yeah, we've got that elevated fire risk here, and it will get higher and higher over the next few days, unfortunately. I'm tracking this area of low pressure right here because this could be our relief. This will be our relief by the time we get into Sunday, and in particular for your Monday. We'll get into that in a second here, but there's that fog I was talking about trying to work its way up from the south. Now, it looks like by tomorrow morning that we will see the fog around, say, Shelter Cove, but not quite in Eureka. It looks like we're seeing some fog developing there. And then you see how it kind of works its way northward through the day on Friday. Now, there's a very good chance that Crescent City may steer clear of the fog through most of the day on Friday, but by Friday evening, Friday night, all bets are off, and everybody on the coast is going to be dealing with that fog here as we go into Saturday morning and probably Saturday afternoon. I'm a bit bummed by that. I was heading out to the coast this weekend, and unfortunately it looks like just in time for me to arrive, that fog will be there. But, you know, pretty much anytime you go to the coast, you've got to expect the fog, because it's more likely that you're going to see the fog than sunny skies, at least in my experience going up there, right? Maybe it's just Murphy's Law, I don't know, or Krueger's Law, I don't know. But there you can see Saturday, Sunday, we are seeing the potential for some of those clouds kind of coming on in. And then, of course, as we go into Monday, a few more clouds, but really you'll notice it's not picking up any rain. But with some of those clouds, we can't rule that out. And then, of course, as we go into next week, that monsoon moisture is mainly down to the Sierra, really won't impact us. So what does it mean for our temperatures? Bit of a roller coaster ride, because temperatures have gone up and they're going to stay up, but eventually, as you can see on Saturday, this area of low pressure is approaching, but it's not here just yet on Saturday. And that's why we still expect about 100 degrees, upper 90s to 100 degrees in the valley. But then this begins to move over us. Now, one thing to keep in mind with this low pressure, it's not a cold air. It's not coming from the Gulf of Alaska. It's coming from the south. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be hot. It just means that it's got more mild air associated with it. So that's going to allow our temperatures to drop. It's going to push that heat off to the east. So the combination of the two is going to help to drop our temperatures down. But then as we go into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that moves on out of here, high pressure builds back in, and yes, that heat returns over Northern California through next week. That's why we've got the warmer than normal temperatures from the Climate Prediction Center over the next 10 days or so. So that roller coaster ride I was talking about, you see how they're going up, then they're going down, then they're going back up, and then maybe a little bit down again after that. But the normal high now, you can see it's getting closer to the mid-90s. So we're starting to see that, climatologically speaking, temperatures should start to drop the daytime highs. So as we start getting into the triple digits, now we're getting well above normal, right? If 96 is normal, we're up to 102. That's pretty high above normal. So it'd be nice if we could kind of get it down to at least the mid to upper 90s, but it looks like it'll be another hot week for next week. Wave height should start to drop. There still is a small craft advisory for the coast, by the way, for your marine forecast through 9 o'clock this morning. That should be allowed to expire here later this afternoon. You can see those wave heights are starting to drop, and that'll be the case here going into your Friday as well. All right, so let's take a look at that marine forecast. As I mentioned, we've got that small craft advisory here until 9 o'clock in the morning. Otherwise, winds from the south at 5 to 10 knots this afternoon. Waves from the northwest at 7 feet at about 9 seconds. All right, here's your detailed Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Highway 299 corridor, it is going to be hot. If you're traveling on that highway today, you just make sure you got that air conditioning working, because it's going to be hot. There you see about 96 degrees for Coffee Creek, 96 in Trinity Center. In Douglas City, about 101 degrees. All right, we take you to the south, about 99 degrees out in Hayfork, 90 in Wildwood, 96 degrees for High and Palm. And we take you off to the north coast, down into southern portions of Humboldt County, 86 in Honeydew, 87 for Redcrest, and there you can see Redway, a high of about 94 degrees. Take you up north, maybe heading out to Fair, Ferndale, maybe Guy Ferrari's there right now. He's going to be experiencing a temperature of about 73 degrees, 76 in Fortuna, Hyattsville 79, and 78 degrees in Rio Dell. Take you up north with 75 in Trinidad, 70 in McKinleyville, Eureka about 68, but there it is, those temperatures in the triple digits most likely for many of us in the inland areas. This might be overdoing it for Orleans, but you get the idea. Some triple digit heat will certainly be in the forecast there. We take you out to Siskiyou County and the Highway 96 corridor, upper 90s to about 100 degrees, mainly mid 90s though for the I-5 corridor there. So as we take you down into Scott Valley, well, temperatures will most likely stay away from the triple digits, but at least in the 90s, 90 degrees for Fort Jones, 95 Greenview and Callahan, a high of about 92 degrees. All right, let's take you off to central and eastern Siskiyou County, staying in the 80s up to the northeast, but low 90s for Weed, Mount Shasta. Dunsmuir, a little bit warmer at about 94 degrees. And for Modoc County, mainly mid to upper 80s, although right around 90 for Canby, 91 for Likely, and we're getting close to 90 at least for Alturas and California Pines. We take you out into the eastern mountains now, and we start off with your Bernie 7-day forecast. Again, the overall trend for everybody. The coast is less dramatic, but you get the idea. Temperatures going up through Friday, and then they do start to dip as we go into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, Wednesday, it starts to kind of warm back up again. But today, 94 for Montgomery Creek, 95 degrees for Paynes Creek. We take you out to Lake Almanor, Laston Park, where we've got temperatures also increasing a little bit over the next few days before we see a nice dip in our temperatures over the weekend. Now to the south, Paradise, 94 degrees today, 91 degrees in Greenville, and you can see Susanville, a high of about 92 degrees. And we take you to the Valley neighborhood forecast to the south. These temperatures, it's upper 90s. We could be kind of just hovering close to that 100-degree mark for most of us to the south. Red Bluff, about 101 degrees. We take you up north with 98 for Lakehead, 102 for the city of Shasta Lake. Redding, one of the warmer spots, at about 103 degrees. And speaking of Redding, there is your 7-day forecast. Temperatures most likely 100 degrees or higher through Saturday. And then temperatures drop. Sunday's more of that transition day. We're about 95 on Sunday. And then we really see that nice dip in the temperatures for your Labor Day, a high of 89. And then 97 degrees here for your Tuesday, back up to the triple digits by next Wednesday. Anybody have plans over Labor Day weekend? Let me know in the comments and we'll share that with everybody. If you don't want to share with everybody, then you don't have to share. But it's always fun to see what people are doing. Are they camping? Are they going out to the lake? Sometimes I know the lake can get a little busy because we get a lot of people out there kind of getting that last trip before the cooler weather starts to kind of set in. So they kind of go out to the lake here. We don't have a boat. We're not really big, like out on the boat lake people. I think we've always fantasized about having a boat, but what's the expression? There are only 2 days you like your boat, the day you buy it and the day you sell it. Because there's a lot of headaches that go along with owning a boat, from what I understand. I've never owned a boat, so I don't know that for sure. All right, folks, that's going to do it for us today. It looks like we are looking at another hot day in store for us this afternoon. So do everything you can to stay cool this afternoon because, it's going to be pretty hot out there. We're going to leave you with a couple of cameras, but in the meantime, have yourselves a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow morning right here on Coffee with Krueger at 7 a.m.